Hello, my friends. We kind of have a new background. This is my bed. I'm sitting on my bed, mostly because this is a more casual, fun video, but also because I'm kind of sick of my background and I wanted something different. I wanted something new and different. I'm trying to find different places to film around my house. So we're on my bed today. Today is Tuesday the 14th, which means it is the beginning of the Goodreads Choise Awards. It is the opening round, and I'm very excited to look into it with you. I have not looked at the nominees yet. I'm very excited to see what's going to be on there. I have a few predictions. I brought some books with me that I think will be nominees, but honestly, I feel like I haven't really been paying much attention to new releases this year. I'm trying to think about like what I read this year, and I was like, was that this year? And like I'm so confused when it comes to newer releases. I can't even remember what I read this year, honestly. So I have a few predictions, but obviously we will see. I also have some tea, and that rhymed, but I'm gonna put this down and let's start off with some predictions, mostly for the adult fantasy. Like, we all know that Fourth Wing is gonna be nominated and Fourth Wing is gonna win. Like, I don't anticipate anything beating out Fourth Wing, unfortunately. Like, obviously I loved Fourth Wing. Depending on what else is in the fantasy category, I might end up voting for Fourth Wing, but we know that that's gonna happen. But then we also have The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab, which I still have not read yet, but I will be reading soon. I started my reread of the Shades of Magic trilogy. I definitely think this will be nominated. Whether or not it'll beat out Fourth Wing, I don't know. Like, this was just such a ridiculous phenomenon this year that I doubt anything's gonna beat it out, but we also have The Fragile Threads of Power. And then I'm pretty sure, let me look at the release date, because now I'm doubting myself. But did this come out this year? I feel like it did. Hold on. Where's the copyright page? What's going on? Yeah, 2023. So this did come out this year. This is the third and final book to the Drowning Empire trilogy by Andrea Stewart, The Bone Shard War. I read it. Unfortunately, didn't love it as much as the other two books, but it did come out this year, and I feel like there was a lot of hype around this series, so maybe this will be one of the nominees. And then we also have The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi that came out earlier this year, which I think should be nominated. I haven't read it. I have no right to speak. I really don't. But it's Shannon Chakraborty. I don't know. I haven't even like looked up on Goodreads how many ratings any of these have, so I'm really just talking with absolutely nothing to back me up here, but I feel like this could be a nominee. That's pretty much all I know for the adult fantasy category. I am curious about whether any of Brandon Sanderson's secret projects are going to show up as nominees, and if they are, then obviously I will vote for literally any one of those over Fourth Wing, but I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna handle that. So for horror, I haven't been keeping up with horror new releases. I don't think that I ever do. I have a few horror authors that I read and love whenever they come out with a new book every year, but I don't really keep up with new releases in the genre. But this did come out this year, A Haunting on the Hill by Elizabeth Hand. I really enjoyed this one. I know it's getting a lot of mixed reviews, but I had a good time with it, and I think this could be nominated. I'm not sure about Out There Screaming. I don't know. Do they do short story collections as nominees? Like, I don't know if that's a thing, because I don't remember ever seeing it, but I don't remember ever not seeing that. Like, I don't know that to be a rule. So Out There Screaming by Jordan Peele, or edited by Jordan Peele, I think this could be a nominee. This was actually a really good collection. I enjoyed this. And then of course, Lone Women by Victor LaValle, which is the one I would be voting for if it is nominated, which I think it should be. I love Victor LaValle. You guys know this. One of my absolute favorite authors. Top 5 for sure. So very hopeful that this is nominated, and I think it will be. So that's horror. And then I do have this, which is Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, and I don't know where this, it's like a cozy mystery, and I don't remember how those categories are split up. Is it mystery and thriller together? I think it's just like mystery thriller mixed together. I'm hoping this is one of the nominees because I would vote for this one. I adored this. It is still one of my absolute favorites of the year. And then moving into YA, hello? Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert, which was just so adorable. I loved the banter in here. I loved the romance. It's YA, and I think this could be a nominee. Again, don't know off the top of my head how many ratings it has or what have you, but I would like to see this nominated, and I would definitely vote for it because I have not read any other YA fiction this year. YA fantasy, the only thing that I know of is Divine Rivals, because I'm pretty sure that this is YA, right? Like, it might be older YA, but it's YA all the same. I have not read it yet, but it is on my end of the year TBR. I want to get to it before the end of the year. I've heard just so many amazing things about it, and just the premise alone sounds so intriguing. So I'm thinking, and I know that this one was like super hyped this year, so I'm thinking this one will be nominated for YA fantasy. And then moving into romance, this is the last predictions I'm gonna make. I think there are two popular romance authors that came out with books this year, Emily Henry and Ali Hazelwood. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that Ali Hazelwood is going to win. I know for sure she'll be nominated, and I'm pretty sure she'll win. She wrote Love Theoretically this year, which I read, and it was 3 stars. I thought it was fine. And Emily Henry wrote Happy Place, I think is what it's called. I've only read one book from Emily Henry, which was Beach Read. I enjoyed it well enough. I definitely want to read more from this author. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I think those two will definitely be the top runners, and one or the other will win. But I also have The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, which came out this year, that I read and really enjoyed. So if this is nominated, this is the one I'll be voting for. And then I forgot to bring my copy, but My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine, that came out this year, and I feel like that was really buzzy. So maybe that'll get a nomination. It probably won't beat out Ali or Emily Henry, but it's there. And one other book that I forgot is actually in the adult fantasy category is Assistant to the Villain. Wayne, Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. I still don't know how to say her name. I'm sorry. I, for some reason, keep thinking if this is romance, but it's not romance. Like, there's a romance plot, but it's fantasy. It's sold as fantasy, adult fantasy in stores, and like, it was pretty buzzy. It's another Red Tower title. Like, I think this will be nominated. So we'll have to see, which we shall do right now. I am so excited to go over this because I've been wanting to peek at it all morning long, but I've been holding off until I could film this. Let me turn on screen recording. Okay, best books of 2023, Goodreads Choice Awards. Let's go. Vote in the opening round. Okay, fiction. This is the category that I never have anything in to vote on because, like, I don't tend to read a lot of general or literary fiction. But we have Big Swiss by Jen Began, which is actually one I'm interested in because I have this whole obsession with unhinged women, and I think that this is one of those books. The Bee Sting by Paul Murray, never heard of it. We've got Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I knew that would be on there. Blackouts, The Invisible Hour, The 5-Star Weekend, Tom Lake. For some reason I thought Ellen Hildebrand was a historical fiction author, but maybe I'm wrong. The Celebrants, Family Meal, Hello Beautiful, Shark Heart, The Collected Regrets of Clover. Yeah, there's a lot here. Ooh, The Wishing Game. I know that The Wishing Game has been pretty popular this year. Maybe that'll be one that gets a lot of votes or wins. But honestly, with R.F. Kuang in this category, I feel like she's gonna win. So am I gonna vote? Like, I did read Yellowface. I didn't actually love it. I gave it 3 stars. There's literally, the cat got in. I had to take him out. Okay, so there's literally no other book that I've read in this category. I'm just gonna go ahead and vote for Yellowface. Why not? Why not? I voted. Okay, next category is Best Historical Fiction. I don't read historical fiction, you guys. I do not like historical fiction unless it has some kind of speculative aspect. I don't read, I've never heard of it. Oh, actually, Wayward by Amelia Hart. I am interested in that one because it's witchy, and that's the only reason. I like witchy historical fictions, but not regular historical fiction. So I have nothing to say about any of these. So we're just gonna move on to the next category, which is mystery and thriller. Okay, so I was right, mystery and thriller is together in one area. So we've got Don't Let Her Stay. The only one left, Riley Sager. I feel like Riley Sager is probably gonna win. Most of these, you guys, I haven't even heard of. I knew that S.A. Cosby had come out with a new book and I want to read it, but I haven't read it yet. I haven't read his other book, so, which is on my shelf, Razorblade Tears. I need to read that first to see if I like his writing. But I haven't heard of any of these besides Vera Wong. It's there. I'm excited. Definitely gonna vote for Vera Wong. I doubt that it's gonna win, especially over some of these other like really popular thriller authors, but I'm gonna vote for it because I freaking love it. I freaking loved it so much. So I should vote. Yay, I voted. Okay, romance is the next category. Here we go. Here we go, I'm excited. Oh, I Forgot About You Again by Kate Goldbeck. I know that that was a pretty popular one, especially around the fall time. There's a popular one, Powerless. I've heard of this Chestnut Springs series. Obviously I haven't read it, but like I keep hearing about it, so that must be a popular one, I guess. Catherine Center seems to be a popular romance author. The Long Game. This is by the same author that wrote The Spanish Love Deception, and I know that one was pretty popular this year simply because of the author. Wildfire. I should look more into these. I'm definitely getting more into romance, and like the Goodreads Choice Awards, these are the most popular romances of the year, apparently. So I should check some of these out. Some of these look really good. Okay, so Happy Place by Emily Henry. The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Excited for that because I really enjoyed it, and that's the only one I've read so far. Yeah, it's the only one I've read so far. We've got a Lucy Score on there. I know Lucy Score is very popular. Ooh, In the Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros. I forgot that she had other romances. That might, I have no idea what the readership on that has been, but that seems like one that's likely to win, or like get a lot of votes at least, you know? And then of course we have Miss Allie Hazelwood with Love Theoretically. I really wish I had enjoyed that more. I don't know. It's just, since her first one, I haven't really enjoyed anything else by her. But I'm gonna go ahead and vote for the 7-Year Slip. It's one of two that I've read, and I liked it way better than Love Theoretically. So I'm gonna vote for the 7-Year Slip. Yay. It's definitely not gonna win. Like, Allie Hazelwood's gonna take it. Either Allie Hazelwood or Emily Henry's gonna take it, but maybe Rebecca Yarros will be close. So, all right, let's move on to, oh! Holy shit, they have a romantasy? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did they actually change? Oh my god. Okay, how long has the Goodreads Choice Awards been going on and they never changed a damn thing? And now there is a romantasy category. I'm floored. I'm shocked. I don't know what to say. But we now have a romantasy category, friends. Tell me how you feel about it. Tell me how you feel about it in the comments. I think that this is a smart move. I feel like a lot of us have been saying we need to separate fantasy romance and fantasy, and I think they did that. So I'm actually rather pleased about this development. Okay, so what do we have for romantasy? A Court This Cruel and Lovely by Stacia Stark. I have not heard of that. I haven't heard of it at all. Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. I've heard of that one, but haven't read it. Bewitched by Laura Thalassa. Heard of that author, haven't heard of that book. A Dawn of Onyx. The Jasad Heir is actually one that I really want to read. I've heard really good things about it, by Sarah Hashem. Then we have A Queen of Thieves and Chaos by K.A. Tucker. Another one I haven't heard of, A Game of Gods. Apparently it's the third. Oh, it's by Scarlett St. Clair. I do have a book by them on my TBR, but I have not read this series, so Don't know. Fall of Ruin and Wrath, Jennifer L. Armentrout. Is this, no, it says Awakening #1, but it feels like all of her titles look like they're all a part of the same series, so I don't know what's happening with that. We've got The Coven, which is one that's been pretty popular. I've seen a lot of people asking for it at work, but like I know nothing about it. Apparently there's a book 8 in the Zodiac Academy. That's one that I have not tried, but really not interested in. The Hanging City is one that I hit. Oh, okay, so we have Assistant to the Villain, which is the one that I thought would be an adult fantasy, but obviously we have a romantasy section now, or category, which is fun. Throne of the Fallen. There's a lot on here. Like if I were to, ooh, Two Ashes and the Star-Cursed Queen. I know that series has been very popular this year. Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. I haven't read it, but I do own it. The Hurricane Wars, I do really want to read. I'm very excited about it, but I have not read it yet. And Fourth Wing at the very bottom. This is, like, I'm impressed that Goodreads actually changed something, made a romantasy category. I'm very pleased with that. But I don't know what to vote for. A lot of these I haven't heard of. Most of these I haven't read, but I did read Fourth Wing, of course, and I did read Assistant to the Villain. And a couple of these I am interested in reading, but have not read yet. Okay, so it's between Fourth Wing and Assistant to the Villain. I loved both. Well, I loved both of these so much, but when it really comes down to it, like, dragons. Dragons, Taryn and Andarna. They're honestly probably like my favorite characters of the year. No, that's not true. Taryn is definitely one of my favorite characters of the year. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and vote for Fourth Wing. I'm like beyond excited that we have separated romantic fantasy from fantasy. This is great. I cannot get over the fact that they did that. So I'm gonna go ahead and vote. Hello? Vote. Yes. Fourth Wing. I voted. I like this. I'm gonna be like even more excited for Goodreads Choice Awards going forward if they continue this. This is great. Okay, now we're gonna move on to Best Fantasy. Here we go. Bookshops and Bone Dust. I have not read yet, but I do have it. Emily Wilde, A Day of Fallen Night, Witch King. I forgot the Witch King came out this year. Starling House. I guess that's really not horror, is it? It's more fantasy. But it is kind of like dark fantasy. I didn't know where. I forgot to mention that Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. Or did I say Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare? God, I can't even remember what I said like a few minutes ago, guys. My memory is so bad. But yeah, Swordcatcher, I have not read yet, but very excited to. Victory City by Salman Rushdie. I have not heard of that. I've never seen that cover. I don't know where that came from. Okay, I don't know where I got cut off because I got a phone call. I should have put my phone in Do Not Disturb, but like I have kids in school. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So anyway, we're back. And I was talking about Victory City. I have no idea, never heard of it, never saw the cover. Inkblood Sister Scribe is one that I do want to read. I know that The Will of the Many by James Islington is pretty popular. We have The Fragile Threads of Power. How could I forget? Oh my gosh, The Last Tale of the Flower Bride. How could I forget that that came out this year? We have Tress of the Emerald. Oh man, this is gonna be hard for me. Tress of the Emerald Sea did get nominated. Okay. Stone Blind, Venko, which I also really loved. I don't think I've talked about it yet on my channel, but I read it in October and absolutely fell in love with it. It's possible that it might be one of my favorites of the year. Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. Okay, I read that, loved it. And The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi. So I was right about The Adventures, about Fragile Threads, but The Bone Shard War did not make it. That did come out this year, right? It says 2023. I'm surprised that that didn't get nominated, but okay, I guess not. Okay, so of the ones that I've read, we've got Starling House. We've got Last Tale of the Flower Bride. We've got Tress of the Emerald Sea. We've got Hellbent. 4 that I've read. And I don't know what to vote for. I have no idea. Holy shit. God. Oh, and Venko. Did I say that? Venko. So 5 that I've read. Oh man. Tress is probably, like, Tress is one of my favorite books of the year. Absolutely. Last Tale of the Flower Bride, though, is also one of my favorite books of the year. The Starling House might be one of my favorite books of the... I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. This is tough. This is really tough, guys. I don't know what to vote for. I keep thinking about Tress. I've been thinking about Tress all year. Tress was the first book that I read this year, and I still think about it. I still think about the feelings that I had when I read it, and just how, oh man. I'm kind of upset that Yumi didn't make it on here, and maybe they only decided to go with one of the Sanderson secret projects, but Yumi is my absolute favorite, and if Yumi was a nominee, there would be no question I would vote for Yumi in The Nightmare Painter. But this makes it hard. This makes it so hard. Okay, I gotta do it. I'm gonna vote for Tress of the Emerald Sea. I loved it so much. Like, it's... like, it would be between Tress of the Emerald Sea and Last Tale of the Flower Bride, because I think I realize now that Last Tale of the Flower Bride I loved more than I even thought I did. And Starling House isn't like a new all-time favorite. Not like Once and Future Witches. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm gonna vote for Tress. I'm gonna vote for Tress. Here we go. I didn't think about what was going to win. If I had to guess, Fragile Threads of Power? Maybe that's just what I want to win, but there is a Cassie Clare on here. And I think the girlies are gonna vote for Cassie Clare regardless of whether or not they read the book yet. So I think Cassie Clare is probably gonna take the win. I made my vote. I voted for Tress. I don't regret it. I don't regret it. Okay, so the next category is Best Science Fiction, and you might have noticed that I didn't make any predictions for science fiction, and that's because I don't think I've read any new release science fiction this year at all. I don't even know what has been published this year, to tell you the truth, but let's find out together. Here we go. Okay. Starter Villain by John Scalzi. I'm gonna vote for that, like, hands down. I loved this so much. Like, sentient villain cats. Are you kidding me? This was so much fun, you guys. So I knew about that one, but I don't think I've read anything else. I Keep My Exoskeletons to Myself by Marissa Crane. Never heard of that one. Never saw the cover. Ascension I have heard of, and it is one that I want to give a read. It sounds really good. I think it's more of like a sci-fi thriller. We have The Djinn-Bot of Shantyport. I am interested in that one tentatively. Children of Memory. With Adrian Tchaikovsky being on here, he might win. But honestly, I think... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. That's not what I thought it was. The Future by Naomi Alderman. Translation, I skipped over Land of Milk and Honey by C. Pam Zhang. I never heard of that one either. Translation State by Anne Leckie. Nope. Bridge by Lauren Bukes. Nope. In the Lives of Puppets, TJ Klune. I forgot that that was a sci-fi. And that it came out this year. So I think that has a pretty good chance of winning. The Light Pirate, haven't heard of that. The Deep Sky, have heard of it, have not read it. Some Desperate Glory. Oh, there was a new Murderbot. There was a new Murderbot this year. So that has a good chance, although I doubt it's gonna win, but it'll definitely be up there, I think. The Ferryman, The Deluge, The Great Translation, The Marriage Act. Oh, the new John Mars. Okay, yeah, don't know. Chain Gang All-Stars and Lightbringer by Pierce Brown. That's the one that's gonna win. That's the one that's gonna win. I do not get the hype with this series. I really don't. I tried reading Red Rising. I did read it. I read the whole thing and I gave it 2 stars. I didn't like it. But to be fair, military sci-fi is not my thing. Like, military fantasy is barely my thing, but I enjoy it more than military sci-fi, and especially when there's like a military school and there's war games. No, not for me. I'm gonna go ahead and place my vote for Starter Villain 100%. I hope it wins, but honestly I doubt it will with a Pierce Brown title being on here. Yeah, but Starter Villain, yay. Hopefully it makes it to the next round at least, which I think it will. It's John Scalzi. Like, he's usually pretty popular in the Goodreads Choise Awards. Okay, moving on to Best Horror. My Darling Girl. I have not heard of that. Our Share of Night. I have heard of, and it seems like a lot of people are really enjoying that one. It's one, I don't know if I added it to my TBR, but it is one that I want to check out at some point. Then we have Rouge by Mona Awad, which I know is going to be pretty popular. Her Little Flowers, haven't heard of that one. Dead 11, have heard of that one, but I don't know that I'm necessarily interested in reading it, but maybe I'll give it a try, I don't know. Okay, so the first one that I have read is The September House by Carissa Orlando, which I really liked. I thought it was fun. The more distance I have from it, the more I am enjoying it in my head, so I think it was a good one. Would I vote for it though? No, I don't think so. I've got Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang, which is one I do want to read, but I haven't. A House with Good Bones is one that I read. It was 5 stars for me, absolutely. This will probably be the one I vote for then. Well, no, we're still waiting for Lone Women. So obviously I'm gonna vote for this one if it's nominated. Becoming the Boogeyman, Don't Fear the Reaper, which I feel like a lot of people really enjoy, so that might be high up there. We have The Reformatory, which came out on Halloween, and I haven't read it. It's like a 600-page book, you guys, but I am very excited for it, so I will read it, but I haven't read it yet, so I can't vote for that. Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison, which is another one I really want to read. Sisters of the Lost Nation. I don't think I've heard of this one, or maybe I have, because that sounds familiar and that title looks familiar, but obviously I have not read it. We've got Holly by Stephen King. Well, fuck. That's gonna win, isn't it? It's frickin' Stephen King. Of course it's gonna win. But we also have Silver Nitrate, and we have Lone Women. Yes, that's the one I'm gonna vote for. Vampires of El Norte. I have read that one, but I didn't love it because I think that if I had gone into that with different expectations, I could have really enjoyed it. It was very atmospheric. I liked the romance, but it's more of a like gothic romance than it is horror. And I was expecting a completely different type of vampire horror, and that's just not what I got. So it ended up being 3 stars. Monstrilio, I've heard really good things about. Mr. Magic, I still need to read that one. And How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. So Stephen King is probably going to win this, but I'm going to put in my vote for Victor Laval. I loved Lone Women so much. I hope that it makes it to the next round at least. Okay, that was fun. Let's move on. This video is going to be so long. I'm sorry, guys. Let's move on to Best Young Adult Fantasy and Science Fiction. Let's see what has been nominated. Because did I make a prediction? I did, right? I said Divine Rivals. That was the only one that I could think of. I've purposely stayed away from YA this year. So Delicious Monsters is one that I've heard good things about and I do want to read. We have Foxglove, which is the second book to Belladonna. I've decided that I do want to read Belladonna because no one has ever told me or described it as a gothic until recently, and so now my interest is piqued. I will definitely check it out. Foul Heart Huntsman by Chloe Gomm. Silver in the Bone, A Curse for True Love, What the River Knows, These Infinite Threads, Divine Rivals. Oh, A Study in Drowning. That's another one I could have predicted. I forgot about that. That is one I do definitely want to read. It sounds exactly like my thing, but I have not picked it up yet. Have not read it. House of Roots and Ruin. I bought a copy, but I have not read it yet. The Scarlet Veil, Blood Debts, which is another one that I really want to read. House of Marion, The Stolen Heir. We have a Holly Black, which means that Holly Black is probably going to win this category, which, whatever. Threads That Bind, Song of Silver Flame, Spice Road. Oh, Chain of Thorns. So one that I've read. I actually read Chain of Thorns, you guys. You'll hear about it in a wrap-up, but yeah, I read it. It's done. Powerless, and then Bring Me Your Midnight by Rachel Griffin. Okay, so out of all of these, the only one that I've read is Chain of Thorns. So really, that's the only one I can vote for. But if I had to guess, I would say that it's either going to be Holly Black or Cassie Clare, or it's going to be Divine Rivals. Like, it could surprise us all, and
Divine Rivals could win. I wish, I don't know, like the only one that I can vote for is Chain of Thorns because that's the only one that I've read. So that's the one I'm gonna vote for. I'm not exactly happy about it. I didn't hate Chain of Thorns. I actually really enjoyed it, but I kind of realized that I don't know that I'm necessarily, like I was kind of over the Shadowhunter world at this point. And I noticed while I was reading that I was like rolling my eyes a lot, which I hate to even say because I love the Shadowhunter world so much and I'm excited for more in the Shadowhunter world. But like, yeah, I was just kind of done with that series by the time I read that book. Okay, then young adult fiction, and I guessed that we'd have what, the Talia Hibbert, which I hope we do. Listen, none of this matters to me. I have no interest in reading most of these. I haven't heard of these. Rain, We Deserve Monuments, Imogen, obviously. I've heard of that one, obviously, because Becky Albertalli, and that's been popular at the bookstore. Warrior Girl Unearthed. Ooh, Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. That's gonna be it, isn't it? That's gonna be it. The Davenports, Immortality, yeah, like, Together We Rot, I am interested in reading. Okay, here we go. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. It's there. You know I'm voting for that one. Oh shit. I completely forgot that Nine Liars was a thing by Maureen Johnson. I actually want to read that one. So there's one that I want to read. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and vote for Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. Like, I haven't read anything else besides this one, and only because it's an author that I love. So moving into Best Debut Novel, I wonder if I'm gonna have any that I can vote on here. But we have Wayward. I didn't even realize that that was a debut. I've heard really good things about that and I do want to read it. Wishing Game, I know that's a popular one. We've got The September House, Bandit Queens. These, like, most of these we've seen in other categories, so I'm not really gonna go over them here. But I have read just the one, which is The September House, and I do agree that it was a really good debut. Do I think that it probably deserves to win out over some of these others? Absolutely not. But like, my vote is just one stupid vote. Like, what is it gonna do? I'm gonna vote for The September House because that's the only one I've read. Okay, the rest of the categories I like don't really care about, but we'll go over them, I guess. Just best nonfiction. I haven't read any of these. I haven't read any of these. It doesn't matter. Yeah, can't vote. Memoir and autobiography. I think there's a couple that I've read. Page Boy is one that I want to read. How to Say Babylon is one that I really want to read. Paris, Pamela Anderson. Okay, Spare by Prince Harry. I think that that might win this category, honestly. Let's see what else is on here though. Oh, but we also have the Britney Spears memoir. That could potentially win. Yeah, that's it. So I think it's either gonna be Spare by Prince Harry or it's gonna be the Britney Spears memoir. But I haven't read any. Then we have History and Biography, which, like, I haven't read anything like that this year, so yeah. Humor, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I never pick up humor. So that's it. Wait a minute. Do you know what we didn't have? We didn't have middle grade. Am I wrong? Or don't we usually have middle grade and a children's category? Is that it? That's it, you guys. They got rid of middle grade and children's. I'm sure, I'm almost positive that those were categories last year. I'm almost positive. At least a middle grade. I don't know if there was a children's, but I'm pretty sure there was a middle grade. They added in romantasy and got rid of middle grade. I'm kind of upset about that. You didn't have to take away middle grade for that, right? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, you guys. I don't know. But yeah, that was the opening round, at least, of the 2023 Goodreads Choice Awards. I had fun with this. I always have fun with the Goodreads Choice Awards. I know that, like, it's a popularity contest and it's not really based on, like, literary merit, but the Goodreads Choice Awards is the only bookish awards that everyone in the community can participate in without any requirements. And I think that that's important to have Like, I love all the content surrounding the Goodreads Choice Awards. And yeah, it's a good time. It's just for fun, you know? So yeah, talk to me down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, especially on the fact that they added in a romantasy category. How do you feel about that? I feel pretty good about that. Let me know what you think about them, like, completely eliminating the middle grade category or whatever it was. I feel like it was either middle grade and children's, or it was something like that. And that's completely gone, which I'm not happy about, but glad to have the romantasy category. If you want to leave an emoji, leave the trophy emoji for the Goodreads Choice Awards. And that is going to be it for me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!